everybody, and welcome to Elden Dogs, your favorite podcast about Elden Ring and rotten, no good, filthy lakes that you don't want to swim in.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
That's exactly right. My name is, of course, Sir Gideon Ofnir. I am sick and tired of these goddamn tarnished not giving me what I need. I need information, and I need these runes, and I need people to just start working for me. Work with me here, folks.
Work for me here, folks.
I got this stepdaughter. Used to love her, but she just won't let me massacre a village one time. I'm done. I'm done.
Dude, that is so relatable.
I know, right? I'm almost ready to just start fucking shit up, but we won't get there for a little bit. Yes, I'm Gideon Ofnir.
I'm Alexander Iron Fist, and Lake of Rot is what my doctor, or I guess not my doctor, what my stomach feels like after I eat an entire family-sized bag of flaming hot Cheetos in one sitting.
It's a filthy place.
It is gross.
You know, Alexander, I have a feeling you and I are both getting our comeuppance pretty soon.
Yeah, we got to be getting there, right?
The fact that you're not through Farm Missoula yet.
I'm chugging along. It's tough with Indie Games Month.
Indie Games Month has taken up a lot of our time. Of course, we're part of the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network. Check out all the other amazing shows. Yes, it is Indie Games Month on Hair of the Dogcast. So that's been... That chomped up a lot of my time.
Yeah, well, I only had to play 3 of the games because Don't Starve was 1. Plus Elden Ring, plus I crammed a vacation in there.
A little vacation. What's nice about vacations is you can play the Switch the entire vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My vacations are just playing video games in a place that's not my house.
Man, Games Done Quick was 3 days of playing Zelda in a hotel.
Yep.
And I want it again.
Yeah.
I live for that. But yes, we played through some indie games. I have since moved on to another game called Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is the absolute fucking other end of the spectrum of open world games. I do enjoy some ancient Greece, but going from that back into Elden Ring I played a bunch today, was jarring. It's just so weird that you want all games to kind of play the same.
Yeah.
That's your instinct when you pick up a controller. And usually Elden Ring is the thing polluting all of my other games.
I just downloaded Odyssey too because Devin's playing it. You were talking about it. I never beat it, so...
You know, it's so weird to me when someone will play a game for so long and not beat it. Like the fact that Dylan, our friend Goldmask, still has not beating Elden Ring. But you also haven't. But you are going along with the show, which I appreciate.
It is weird, but there are some games where burnout just is a very real thing. Assassin's Creed, both Valhalla and Odyssey, they're just such big games. They got so much to do. And the first time I play any of these games, I get stuck in the caveat of trying to collect and accomplish everything. I don't want to miss anything.
It's a rookie mistake.
So like Valhalla, for instance, I'm chasing down all the little gold dots on the map because they're loot. 98% of them are trash.
Yeah.
They're not as good as the armor I'm wearing, but there's that 2% that's going to be better. And I don't want to miss it. And that will burn me out of a game.
You know why that burns you out is because eventually all that loot turns into one big massive pile of nothing burger you don't care about.
Yeah.
Swords are the same. Axes are the same. You don't notice any difference. Whereas with Elden Ring, there's a whole lot of variety going on.
I did get burnt out on Elden Ring where I took like a 2-month break. That's right in the middle of it.
That's because you were struggling.
I was getting my ass kicked and I was trying to kill everything, trying to accomplish everything, trying to collect everything. And I wasn't using the majority of the stuff that I collected anyway. But once I found out that, hey, you should probably read item descriptions, the game got infinitely more fun for me.
That's half the story, I'd say. Maybe 3/4 of the story is buried in item descriptions, which it really helps a lot.
I wish I would have known that from the start. When I discovered that, and the fact that I didn't have to put everything in a chest, I could just carry everything all the time.
You were putting things in chests?
Because it's like I'm playing how I would normally play an RPG. Like at my carry weight, I'm a heavy load. Why am I heavy load?
Yeah.
It's just learning curves.
Carry weight's an odd thing that if it's accurate, it's not fun. And if it's fun, it's not accurate.
Yeah. Carry weights I don't want them to go away, but I dislike them almost every single time.
As soon as I'm in Skyrim carrying 4 sets of armor, it is no longer accurate. It is not a real...
And then you pick one blue mountain flower and you're just like, can't move no more.
That's it. Can't move. Somebody help.
Yeah.
Take this flower. Thank God, guys. I can walk Again, that was outrageous.
Hey, buddy, why don't you drop one of the 19 different dragon bones you're carrying?
Why don't you fucking mind your own business?
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Carry this flower for me, Lydia. I swear to fucking God. Lydia.
And then when she gets killed by a frost troll and you have to make the decision, it's like getting divorced. Because you're like, which stuff do I keep and which stuff does she get?
Yeah, it's a sloppy thing. Relationships are sloppy.
It's messy.
Can you imagine if Elden Ring had relationships?
You'd just be betrayed by everybody all the time.
I mean, there is a relationship. There's like you get a lot of hugs from Fia.
Yeah, and I really honest to God think Ronnie's into me.
Well, I mean, you're doing literally everything she wants done. She's surprised at how good you are at it. Yeah. She's happy to have you as her consort, but I don't know if it's like a love. She's not like, oh, you're really into Imagine Dragons as well.
She might be like the barista that just makes my coffee every morning. Like, she's got to be into me, or she's just a friendly person.
Imagine that barista. You just brought her like $1 billion and said, whatever world religion you want is now in charge. And she's like, I think I'll marry you.
I think this is an alright guy.
Yeah, but now if I wasn't a good tarnish, if I was just a lowly little Kenneth Height, which even then he's got some swinging weight, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's romantically based initially. Maybe she'll learn to love your personality, because my personality so far is I just kill a lot and I run around. Yeah,
I'm really into cardio and mass murder,
dude. I can carry so many armors at once. That is a good trait in a partner, you know?
Yeah. You never know when you're going to be at a party and you need to have all those weapons, because you got to be like, you ever seen a candelabra whip? Do you want to?
Damn, that tarnished is so cool.
He's wearing like 14 different hats right now.
Oh my gosh. Is that a mushroom crown? He's a weirdo. I think he's got rod on him. Yes, so today we are going to conclude our discussion underground. We're going to be finishing the underground portion of Elden Dogs until maybe the DLC. I imagine the DLC will take us somewhere underground, but yeah, this is literally like the last time we're going even in a cave or anything, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, well, we've come a long way.
Yeah,
it's been a long, precarious road.
This is number 20, if you're counting, and yeah, we might come back and loop around onto some topics. But today we're going to talk about the Lake of Rot and the Moonlit Altar, the last little steps of our Ronnie quest, since it's a lot. It's very involved. And the Lake of Rot. I guess before we get in there, though, we just finished fighting the Baleful Shadow, little Blythe wannabe. You can wear the same head as my boy, but you're not my boy.
Yeah. How dare you stand where he stood?
How dare you stand? Wrong kid died.
Wrong wolf died.
Wrong wolf died. But yes, after you defeat the Baleful Shadow, Mini Ronnie, your doll, all of a sudden gives you a discarded palace key. Where it's like, were you carrying this doll the whole time and didn't know there was a key in there?
Do you got pockets?
Is there? What is? She just like, well, she can't even move really. So I wonder what's going on.
It's a Toy Story thing. You were looking away, and she quick popped it out.
Mini Ronnie just runs around and hangs off of the back of vans and stuff. I'm falling with style. And then the doll, the description changes to the chillness is gone, feeling now like an empty husk, which is how I feel most Saturday mornings.
Finally, somebody who gets me.
I am not chill anymore. I am an empty husk. Take this fucking key and get out of my room. But yes, so with this ring, it says to go to Ray Lucaria, to the Grand Library. It opens a treasure chest passed down to Carian princesses is the description. When you open this chest next to, which could be Bach's hollow body. It could be next to Selen's giant head ball corpse, as well as Renala. It's just that room is accumulating a not great group of things in there.
I don't have Selen there because I'm pretty sure I broke her quest line somewhere.
It might be possible. I don't know. But it'd be worth looking into. Selen is one quest that I would want to come back and loop around into. But yeah, so this room, which is essentially turning into like the circus, like the freak show.
It is.
American Horror Story season whatever. is what's happening in here. But you go to this chest and you open it up. You get the dark moon ring. Because everything, Ronnie just like, ooh, this is the dark moon towel of mine. This is the dark moon shoes that I own. It's like, oh, we get it. You like to call things your dark moon stuff, but this is the dark moon ring. Ring depicting a leaden full moon, symbolic of a cold oath. The ring is supposed to be given by lunar princess Ronnie to her consort. It also says Ronnie's an Empyrean, meaning her consort would by rights earn the title of Lord. And a warning is engraved, because if somebody gives you an engagement ring with a warning engraved on it,
don't worry, it's just a prenup.
Nothing will go wrong here. A warning is engraved saying, whoever thou mayest be, take not the ring from this place. The solitude beyond the night is better mine alone. So she's just brooding.
That sounds foreboding.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound great.
Here, check out this engagement ring. It says, don't fucking think about it, dude. But you can have it.
It just is weird. It just says run.
Runny.
Runny.
I like my eggs like I like my princesses.
Runny.
But you go get this dark moon ring. And then we're heading into the Lake of Rot, which I lived in Minnesota for a long time, the land of 10,000 lakes. There's a fair number of lakes here in Wisconsin.
Yep.
I've been to many lakes. This one is one of the least welcoming I've ever been to.
Yeah, not a place that you would want to go jet skiing or take the new pontoon out for any reason.
Now you got me excited. I mean, if there's a jet ski involved, I might go into the Lake of Rot for a little bit.
At least you won't get scarlet rot because you're technically not in the lake.
Don't fall.
Yes.
I have kayaked up the river here in Milwaukee downtown. Very nice. Don't fall in. It's kind of like the Lake of Rot. You spend too long there, you will die.
Well, didn't we get drunk over here one night and watch a documentary on the Milwaukee River on public television?
It was before a Packers game started, I believe.
Yeah.
And we were stuck watching public TV, and it was probably better than the Packers game.
Oh, we lost.
Yeah, and we learned about the river and how it's fucking filthy, and it used to be worse.
Yeah.
The Lake of Rot is a great lake of standing water downstream of the Ainsel River. It is said that the divine essence of an outer god is sealed away in this land. The lake itself is filled with the crumbling remnants of a bygone civilization. Okay, so we're going to start unpacking what the fuck is going on down here. So the civilization is the Ul Dynasty. Ul Dynasty means statues of old white men the old statue of what... It's an old man with like a book, and it's a big statue. There's tons of them. There's the Ul and the Uld Dynasty, but they were another group of people underground. We've been through their dynasties before. They're associated with those claymen who love bubbles.
Very whimsical.
Very whimsical. I've been to music festivals. A lot of claymen.
Big deadheads.
Yeah, big deadheads, those claymen. I can't stand that music that long, but they will listen to that same song for 40 minutes.
They start running away at a certain point. They just don't move that fast. So the jam bands are perfect for them.
I could blow a bubble for you. No, thank you, Mr. Ul.
Quickly, during Doctor Who, do you remember the guys with the tentacle faces that talk through the balls?
The Ood.
The Ood, okay.
OOD.
Okay.
Yes. I like the Ood.
Yeah, they had some good episodes. That's all I can think of, though, while we're talking about the lore.
Well, if it helps you to imagine them as Ood, go ahead.
I'm gonna
do it. This civilization predates most known civilizations in the lands between, seen mostly underground. My notes are wrong. They say statues of skiing bearded men. I don't know what I meant.
It used to be a real fun time down here.
They used to, before they got all this rot, we used to ski every day. Or maybe they're skiing in the rot. I was thinking like skiing downhill, but maybe they're water skiing.
Oh, no. I think the rot just tore everything down. Now when families go visit, they're like, right over there, Sonny, is where we had our timeshare. We used to ski down here. There used to be a mountain. It all melted.
Or maybe they do have water skiing. It's like they have the 10 people stand up on each other's shoulders on the Lake of Rot. Yeah.
That would be pretty gnarly.
Blowing bubbles and shit.
It'd be like if you fall, you die. It'd be like extreme water skiing.
Those are the best stunts. I'm always afraid I'm going to see someone die. I haven't yet.
I know. When I was a kid, it was exciting. As an adult, I'm like, I don't need any more trauma.
This is horrifying. Someone get that man down. He's too old for this.
There's easier ways to make a living, sir.
Man, there's a guy blowing bubbles making $10 a day.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, but He's doing it.
It's not much,
He's
but
really
it's
struggling.
honest work.
This is bad. Somebody don't let your kids go by that man. We saw a guy doing magic at Chill on the Hill yesterday. He was just going up to children, like some unattended children, and like doing magic that involved touching their faces. And we're all like, this is the creepiest shit we've ever seen.
Oh man, I did not see that guy.
I think it's the Uul dynasty. Yeah. They believed in the cycle of death and rebirth. I don't believe they're the ones that worship the rot because their architecture is located elsewhere, but where the Lake of Rot used to be where they water skied and had their shows. It was like their water ski lake. Used to be the Lake of Hot, and it was like always warm. It was great times. They loved it down there. But long ago, an outer god, the Rot god, came down here and moved in. Bad neighbor.
His name was Kid Rock.
Kid Rot. It was Kid Rot. Kid rotted up and down the street. But we're going to learn more, and this is one of those things where, like you said, it's item descriptions. So there's like a formula I've almost just completely can solve every Elden Ring dilemma with. Every description for lore is on 4 different items. One will say like it was there was an outer god here. The other one will say the outer god there was this god sealed by this, and then there was a man who sealed a god. You need like all 3 or 4 items to put together to solve the problem. So what happened down here? There was a legendary blind swordsman. I'm in.
Yeah, already intrigued.
You got me. As long as you don't fuck this up, I'm gonna like your movie.
Yeah.
We learned this from a few items. The flowing curved sword. This was guarded by 2 knights cavalry in this consecrated snowfield. That's why you've never touched it, Tyler.
Yeah.
You don't even know what that is. It's still getting pulled around in an endless circle because they don't have any fucking idea where to go anymore. They're just taking this thing around in circles. It says, legends speak of a master of the sword garbed in blue, and his curved blade was patterned after flowing water. So we learned about a master with the sword, wore blue, and the curved blade patterned after flowing water. The blue cloth cowl from the warrior base armor says, the blue color of its fabric symbolizes brisk waters as it flowed, and flowing as the sword as the hand of its wearer. Just as still waters turn foul, stagnation leads to decay. Warriors must remain ever drifting. So this is calling out rot pretty much as flowing water, drinkable, still water. Don't go in there. That's where you're going to get parasites in your pee-pee.
Yeah. Oh, that just reminds me of the movie The Rundown with The Rock.
I was thinking of Jackass 1's deleted ending.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Steve-O fell into a pretty nasty vat in that one. Comparable to the lake.
Yeah, that was gross.
So this blind swordsman is also depicted in the curved sword talisman, which says, Millennia's mentor wielded a flowing blade that sealed away the god of rot. Also taught the waterfowl dance. That's not what the curved sword talisman said, but that was a description. So we learned this blind swordsman was also Millennia's mentor. The blue fairy. Yep.
The medallion?
The blue fairy, there's a character like the blue fairy.
Oh, I have the blue fairy medallion or something like that.
The blue dancer charm?
Yes, that's it.
Now, that's found in Limgrave pretty early on.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that in our episode number 2. It's a cloth doll depicting a dancer garbed in blue, an ancient heirloom of sort. The dancer in blue represents a fairy who in legend bestowed a flowing sword upon a blind swordsman. Blade in hand, the swordsman sealed away an ancient outer god, a god that was rot itself. Same place you find Millicent's Shamshir weapon. Millicent is, of course, related to Millennia, that whole quest line. They're all associated with rot. So this charm says there was a blue fairy that, in legend, bestowed a sword to the swordsman. Now, to me, what I like to believe is the blue fairy is the river. It could be the Ainsel River, or like a river spirit, like some sort of like teaches this blind swordsman the way of like flowing in water. It's fucking very Avatar 2.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you see the way like Melania fights, who she was taught by him, it's all like very flowy and movie and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. So our blind swordsman was taught by a blue fairy how to move like water and given a curved sword to fight the god of rot itself. I put down, or Shifra River could be the blue fairy because Shifra means fairy in Old Irish.
Really?
And once you start going down these fucking side paths of what's this mean in Gaelic? How about in Old English? How about German? And it's like, oh, it means the answer to what you're looking for. There's a lot of that.
I never even thought to look any of it up.
I, for the first time, went to Fextra Life, which is a very good Elden Ring site, and they have the Japanese translations of stuff. And I went to Google and I put it in and translated it because they don't give you the English translation of the Japanese on the site. You actually have to go do it. And I'm like, if I start doing this,
that's going to eat a whole day.
I'm going to be never getting anything done. Yes, but more evidence for the connection of river to fairy. This etymology post points out that Ainsel is Scottish for my own self. There's also a fairy tale wherein a fairy calls herself Ainsel. So maybe we have twin fairies. This is why I don't like taking notes sometimes. Sure. I believe, regardless, they could be river spirits. I'll buy it.
It could also, I mean, it's definitely up to interpretation, but it could also be one of those things where, you know, it wasn't necessarily a fairy. It was somebody gave a water sword to a blind guy.
Then, he's blind. He doesn't know who's giving him the sword.
But then through like time, passing the story down, it starts to gather legend and lore. And then at some point, the person who gave the sword to the blind guy turned out to be a fairy, when in reality it could have been just a regular swordsman who could see.
It could have been anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what...
And he was blind as fuck. And
he was even blinder.
He could throw a football over a mountain.
Yeah, so it was, what, Uncle Rico?
It was Uncle Rico.
No, that's what George R. R. Martin and this game do so well, is they can write a story and then attach a bunch of lore and legend to it and muddy the waters enough to where you can interpret it however you want. And the people in the story have already done that.
My favorite bit of the Song of Ice and Fire Reddit dives that I've done, because the only other thing that I've spent as much time reading lore and posts and theories on is A Song of Ice and Fire compared to Elden Ring. And there's a character in like Dance with Dragons or one of the later books who says, my ancestor had a cock that was 6 feet long. And everyone just kind of brushes it off. And then someone wrote this nice detailed post. They're like, because they have a drop of dragon's blood, the dragon died on the day of their birth, the Targaryen, and the woman still got pregnant by having sex with the dead guy. So it was like he was 6 feet under. That's why he was like dead, but still impregnated a woman. So it was like having a 6 foot dick.
Oh.
And I was like, what a thoughtful and smart post about raping a dead corpse. George, you got me again there, buddy.
Just when I thought you couldn't pull me back in, you do it.
Just when I thought your sex was getting boring, George.
Yeah. As incest wasn't enough, we're going to add necrophilia.
Man, I have read some batshit weird posts. And I remember the weirdest one said, Winds of Winter is coming out in 2013. And I'm like, I will believe that.
Yeah. Didn't he just come out and say that he's like halfway done with it?
He's trolling at this point. Thank you for Elden Ring, George. At least we got Elden Ring. I know you helped Miyazaki out. I was watching a making of Elden Ring video, and I guess Miyazaki just kind of reached out to George, not thinking he would care at all. And George's like, sure, I'll help out. And it was kind of a surprise to Miyazaki.
Miyazaki was like, he's probably working on his book that everybody wants. He's probably really busy.
George's like, oh, I'm so free right now.
I got nothing going on.
He's got one of those like paddles with a ball. He's just hitting it back and forth.
Just throwing pencils up at the ceiling to see if he can stick them in there like we did in grade school.
Come in. Let's talk about turtles.
I hope you like names with the letter R.
I fucking love George R. R. Martin, dude. He is the slowest writer, but the best. But yes. So, blind swordsman, taught by a blue fairy, given a curved sword, seals the god of rot itself, and then he bestows his knowledge, their knowledge. I don't know if they refer to it as them as he, but their knowledge, and bestows that knowledge to Melania, We don't know much about that other than Millennia was taught by this person at some point, and thank God. I mean, he probably wanted to help Millennia because she's sitting there with fucking rot inside of her.
Yeah.
Imagine like perpetually hungover, never ending hungover.
That would be terrible. But that's already how I live my life.
It hurts because it's true. But as far as the god of rot, we don't know a bunch. We know that they like rot, that decaying is a part of life and death, and there is like a certain sort of like rebirth that happens with decay. The forest burns down, it comes back up. Decay can be a healthy thing. It's a natural part of life, but this god is like, I love it. I'm here to fucking rot. Kid rot up and down your street. I'll say that I'm from the South, but I'm from a wealthy Michigan household. Kid rot. And it's the only thing we know about the god of rot is that they were defeated by a blind dude, which already like he's blind.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw John Wick 4, and I'm like, I kind of believe it, but there's a lot of bullshit in that.
And to continue our Kid Rock analogy, he was defeated by country music. Is where we're at in the Kid Rock canonical story for Elden Ring.
Kid Rot's just down there blowing up all of the Crimson Tears because they had one non-tarnished sponsor for their flask at one point.
Oh no, the Lake of Rot is just Bud Light because Kid Rock bought so much and blew it up, it just flooded.
Maybe.
It could be.
Well, then I would go there.
Yeah, that's.
I love Bud Light. I can drink Bud Light. Is what I mean beer. To say. It is not the worst.
Definitely not the best.
No, as I'm drinking a delicious High Life right now. Tyler's got a Mexican Honey Light from Indeed Brewing.
Delicious.
One of my favorite beers.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the only other thing we know about the Kid Rot in a second here. So the Lake of Rot, it's actually not. It's a cavernous place. It's a big place, but there's not a ton to do because it's a fucking rot lake you can't really be in. And thank God, I mean, there's no boats. Like, is everything ankle deep in this goddamn world? Yes.
Yeah. The only boat is the Mariner's boat.
Mariner?
The Mariner, the fucking spectral Mariner that comes up.
And that's like on land.
Yeah, that's like barely ankle deep.
Yeah.
And it's at the one flooded place I fought him.
I could use a boat. But there was a jet ski just like sitting at the edge of the beach.
I mean, give me like don't starve. Like at least give me like a plank that I can stand on and like just row with.
Yeah. And then the basilisks attack your boat or something. Or your jet ski. Let's go jet ski. Yeah. Because you said jet skiing in the Lake of Rot earlier. Now I'm excited.
And you don't need much water for a jet ski to go.
Yeah.
Like it
could only be 2 or 3 feet deep and it would work.
Yeah. I watched somebody do a little playthrough of this just to get refreshed with it before I came over. Mm-hmm. And he had all the mushroom armor, which didn't know existed. I must have missed it. I fought those little fuckers, the little puffer things. What are they called? The basilisks.
Yeah, I mean, what? Yeah, go ahead.
I've never used the beast torch. Never. I have it. Never used it.
Scare them away.
Oh my God. Watching this guy just run around unimpeded, not being attacked by those things.
Use it against the big scary dogs too.
Does it work against rune bears?
Now there's a thing I'm not sure of, but why not?
I mean, if it does, that is the most OP shit in the game.
And you don't even have to be using it. It can be like on your offhand, like, or on your back, I think, too, and it still counts. I forget.
Yeah, well, there's that sword that gives you HP back, shaped like a serpent.
Yeah.
But if you have it just equipped and not even in your hand, like just on your person,
yep,
it worked. I don't know if they patched that out, though.
Probably not. I mean, that seems like almost intentional.
It'd be nice.
Yes. So it's a lake of rot. When you walk in the lake, you quickly get affected with scarlet rot. That's what's going to happen. You can't stop it. You can slow it down. Mushroom armor is one thing that will greatly slow it down. There are different immunizing charms.
Flame Cleanse Me.
Flame Cleanse Me is very good if you want to continually set yourself on fire.
Yeah, and which I did.
Because why not?
Yeah. I mean, it worked.
You just like get to one island, set yourself on fire, and a basilisk shows up.
Yeah. Well, I ran through the rot the first time and I built a bunch of it up. I got to a platform and then I saw how long it took for the meter to go down. And I bounced out, respect, learned faith, learned that spell.
Because it's quicker than waiting.
Yeah, it really is.
That shit does not go down fast.
And that's what created my weird battle mage faith build that I'm currently rocking.
And, luckily, if you're not getting the scarlet rot or if you're staying out of it enough, there's not a ton of fighting you have to do here. So the main mechanic of what's happening is there's a few little islands that have little buttons that raise more islands. That's kind of the core of what's happening here. You can run out in the middle of the lake and grab an item. It's generally not going to be worth your time. But also, if it glows, go out and grab it, because that's just how I play games as well. But I'm saying I'm not going to go back there next time.
Yeah, I don't want to have to come back here. It's already unpleasant enough.
So the basilisks are there, and we talked about their large fake eyes on top of their heads. Wait, no, we didn't.
Whoa, back up. What?
Those large eyes aren't their real eyes. They have like orca eyes. Their real eyes are like tiny little ones.
No shit. So it's like a defense mechanism.
Yes, and the fake eyes are kind of based on the model of the Prince of Death.
It doesn't work if it is a defense mechanism because, in my opinion, it just makes them cuter.
It just makes me want to give them a little kiss.
Yeah.
If somebody brought their basilisk to a park, I would ask to pet it.
Yeah. The moment that thing moves, though, I'm shooting it.
There is one lone ancestral follower out here.
That poor fucker got so lost.
His buddies, he fell off the boat. It was like a prank, and they left him out there.
Yeah. Like, hey, how much money would it take for you to jump off that waterfall right there?
And no one came to pick him up. He's out there completely by himself, the only ancestral follower in the lake. But something that's very fun and cute about him is he is carrying the immunizing horn charm +1. And it raises immunity to poison and scarlet rot by 140. I think he was out there testing his charm.
Yeah, he's just a scientist.
He gave himself polio and then took the vaccine.
Well, it's the guy who...
Whatever, so, it wasn't the real story.
It was the ulcer guy, right? He gave himself an ulcer to see if he could fix it or if that's what caused it. There's a guy who gave himself an ulcer on purpose.
He did something bad, yeah.
Yeah, this is that guy.
Yep. He's out there. I promise you guys, I'm going to be fine out there. And he's just out there chilling, just swimming in the lake.
What's going to suck is when they find his body, when someone eventually comes looking for him, they're going to be like, oh, fuck, that charm didn't work. They have no idea we came through and killed him.
But they also won't see the charm there, and they're going to be like, he lost it. And people are going to be looking for that charm at the bottom of the lake forever.
Oh, man. So the cycle of death just continues.
We're never getting out of this. There is one boss roaming around in here like an asshole. Dragonkin Soldier.
Yeah. Imagine my surprise.
Imagine you're already fucking around in these tiny islands in the lake of hell, getting attacked by literal death blight monsters, and then a Dragonkin Soldier's like, okay, fuck you extra hard right now.
Yeah. They're probably some of my favorite bosses to fight in the game.
I like their design.
Because they look gnarly. And I feel like I've beaten 2 or 3 of them now. Beaten a handful of them. And they don't all play the exact same way. Like, what are the big fat dudes that I hate? The Godskin Apostles?
How far are you in Farmazula?
Not very far.
You're about to run into many people's favorite boss fight in the whole game.
Like, for a good reason or a bad reason?
I'm joking. It's everyone's least favorite.
Is it the guy that got that...
Back to the Dragonkin Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
No, they're cool. They look wicked. And I like the lore, too. Like, the Nox tried to make their own dragons down here, and they tried to take men and make them into dragons, and it did not fucking work.
I mean, it worked kind of. They're creepy and giant, and they do kind of resemble a dragon man.
They look uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's like Frankenstein.
Which I'm very much into. One of my favorite books. But the Dragonkin Soldiers down here beat the crap out of this little dragon, and you get the Dragon Scale Blade, a weapon made by sharpening a gravel stone scale, thought to be the source of ancient dragon immortality, into an unclouded blade. The Dragonkin Soldiers, though, never attained it because they were decrepit, pale imitations of their skyborn kin. Some descriptions just really throw shade, too.
Yeah, it's like Jeffrey Ross at like a roast.
Yeah.
destroying
Just
comedians.
he's like, can I write this description?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget Juno Hoslow, and then there's the other Hoslow, the younger one.
The lesser Hoslow.
The lesser Hoslow. It's like he was all talk and no pants or something. I'm like, dude, give him a fucking break. He's struggling right now. He's really having a tough time in his life. Don't go that hard on him. Yeah, there's a Dragonkin Soldier out there. You can find the Mushroom Crown. So if you didn't find it, it's because you didn't go fuck around in the lake enough.
No, and the playthrough I saw where it was though, so I might go get it.
It takes you out in like a fallen apart building, and you have to make this really sketchy jump into the middle of it, and it's a terrible jump.
And there's a bunch of basilisks at the bottom of it, just waiting for you to fall.
You want no part of that. But it raises attack power when something nearby suffers from poison or rot. So it's an okay thing to have right here. Long ago, great lords served the scarlet rot. Perhaps such fungal bodies served as their crowns. I don't know if maybe the lords were the Ul dynasty.
When you wear the full set with the giant crown, the greater crown or whatever it's called, you look a lot like something out of The Last of Us.
Yeah.
It is pretty awesome. I kind of want to get it just for that. Look like a bloater.
Yeah, I would mix up the armor. I'd wear like a godskin robe, like the big boy robe with that mushroom crown. Then you'd really look like a bloater.
Yeah.
But you raise up in the center this like walkway thing in the middle, which you can get up on this like path, and there's an alabaster lord there.
The gravity guys.
The gravity boyos. Yes, we talked about them before. They fell down with a meteor. They're at least stone dudes. Great. Good for you. Great sword forged from a blue-white meteoric ore. It conceals gravity-manipulating magic. He's got a unique skill, the Alabaster Lord's Pull. Pulls enemy in with your sword, deals damage to him. There's also Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 22 out here that lets you do the rot pot, the rot grease, and the drawstring
I
rot
missed that.
grease.
I want a rot pot.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got to go back. I was going to go back for the crown anyway.
Kid rot pot.
Kid crack pot.
Yeah. If you want all of your fun rot abilities, I was thinking about those cookbooks today. I'm like, do they have fun covers like you see cookbooks in the Target aisles?
Like Paula Deen or something?
And it's just like someone holding a bunch of rot in a pot, just smiling. Rachel Ray cooks rot. It says cookbook. I imagine it's got to be like 20 recipes to woo your friends.
With Martha Stewart on the cover.
50 ways to eat rot.
Yeah, but before you get into the recipe, it's a life story on how you discovered the recipe and what it means to your family before you tell me that I need 4 ingredients and the cook time's 20 minutes.
And then at the bottom, you thank the greater will a bunch.
Yeah, a whole bunch.
Yep. This is only possible because of you, G-dubs.
G-dubs.
It's all because of you. But after you get through this horrible mess, you arrive in what they call the Grand Cloister. And I'm like, what the fuck is a cloister, all right? I played Final Fantasy X, the only other time anyone's ever used the word cloister in my life, because they have the Cloister of Trials.
Yeah.
A cloister is essentially just like a spot for meditating and worshiping for like monks or priests and doing priest shit, monk stuff.
I knew that it was a word. I had no idea what it meant, and I did not look it up.
You don't ever hear it. No one's like, hey, did you go to the cloister last night? Or no one ever says that. No one uses cloister.
Yeah.
Nobody uses cloister in everyday life. That is one of those fucking video game terms.
That really is.
It's like an aqueduct. I'm like, I've heard a lot in games. They must exist, though. They must exist. So the Grand Cloister, if you didn't hate this area enough already, there's a putrid tree spirit down here. A big old slithery rot boy. That'll give you a whole golden seed, which you don't need all of them anyway, so you don't even need them all. You can max out without them. But, it's interesting down here. You find the pests down here, the little rot pests, which are all Melinia's children, which they were born in Caelid. They made it down here to the lake they're just searching for one of their gods, searching for something, because Melinia's like straight up had those kids, said she was going out for a pack of smokes and left them.
Damn.
These kids are like, oh, we really hope she's coming back sometime. But she's not.
Yeah.
No, because we killed her. Sorry.
You gonna break the news to them, or
all of your like you walk into a demigod, like, I killed all your siblings, and I'm really sorry about it.
Yeah.
But These so they're pests down there now. Originally though, they used to be ancestral followers. In patch 1.0, the base game, if you don't update it at all when you put the disc in, it'll be all ancestral followers down there instead of the pests, which is a wild concept. I mean, there's actually a fair amount of differences in Elden Ring 1.0 versus the patch. Like the day one patch changed a whole bunch.
Yeah, wow.
Which I would be curious to go in there and do a day one patch because a lot of things would be different and in different spots. Most of the enemies and bosses, that's all the same. But the fact that those enemies were different, I don't know why they decided the ancestral followers. Maybe they're just like, we love cows. Those things are too cute. We don't want that.
Maybe the pest assets weren't done yet, and they just needed a placeholder. And they're like, "We'll fix it in."
They were
fuck it. We'll do it
they
live.
were done. They were all over Caelid in the base game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're all over everywhere. So they made a change though. The ancestral followers, they probably just like, no, we're moving more into animism, pushing them more into earth spirituality.
Yeah.
Yeah. They wouldn't like this shit. But a lot of kindreds of rot down here. The forsaken servants and unwanted children that emerged from the swamp of Aeonia. Liurnia never wanted you. But the base game, if the ancestral followers are there, they will even vomit up rot, which don't swallow ocean water.
Yeah. It's just going to make you more thirsty.
It's going to not feel good.
No.
But
God, scarlet rot vomit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just... Because it's rotting you from the inside out, literally.
Yeah. It's either that or Deathblight. I don't know what I'd rather not eat more.
Deathblight's instant, though.
It's like Fear Factor.
Yeah.
This is bull penis covered in Deathblight.
And then you're going to have one Chad dude who's just mounted down like Kobayashi.
This is not my first time eating scarlet rot, Joe Rogan.
I got to go Deathblight.
I will lose the $50,000. I'm not playing the game. Yes, but they're down here. They're worshiping hard, these kindreds of rot. They're all like not paying attention. They're raising their arms. I think it is interesting that the Uhl dynasty, there's a giant statue of the Uhl man downhill skiing, looking so happy above where the treasure of the area. You know, it's like clearly denotated as like this is the royal thing that they're worshiping. Inside of that, you find the scorpion stinger, a dagger fashioned from a great scorpion's tail, glistening with scarlet rot, a ceremonial tool used by heretics, crafted from the relic of a sealed outer god, causes scarlet rot buildup. That's the only thing we have from this god, is a scorpion stinger.
Which is pretty fucking heavy metal.
Which, extrapolating what could be on the other end of that stinger is very fun.
Yeah. I mean, it could be literally anything.
Because originally, Astel, which is in the next room, was probably going to be in the Radon boss fight. Instead of Radon crashing down, there's an animation, an unused animation for the game of an Astel crashing, like floating down and like crashing into the battlefield. Probably the battlefield because it's coded to be in like an area only big enough that it could be Radon's boss fight. It would make sense. He was holding back the stars. And if that's the case, I think you might have fought the Scarlet Rot God down here.
Yeah.
And, you know, it could have been an Estelle because those things are kind of like antlions, chimeras. They're a mixture of a lot of things, but the Astel does have a stinger, I want to say, like a nice big tail at the back that could have a stinger on there. Maybe there's like a Scarlet Rot variation. Instead, though, we get nothing. So I imagine a scorpion monster, probably with 35 arms and a distaste for me.
Yeah. That would have been fucking gnarly, though. I would have loved to see what they do with a Scarlet Rot scorpion god.
Do you want that?
It can't look worse than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in The Mummy Returns.
No, it would look cool, but do you want to fight it?
What
if it was just Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in The Mummy Returns?
Then I would definitely fight it, because that'd be awesome.
Just the most digital CG character ever.
I remember I watched that movie like the day it came out on DVD or VHS as a child.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's bad.
Even I know it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first Mummy's special effects hold up pretty well. Imhotep's like gnarled out face.
Yeah.
I remember being like, all right, I buy it. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, when the bug runs out of his mouth and then back in, he just chomps it. I'm like, that's still gross.
That's cool design.
Yeah.
Somebody did that and should have gotten a raise. Instead, they're striking right now
Probably
because these asshole billionaires are fucking the world over. Dylan is not here.
Someone's got to do it.
Yep. These fascist
Capitalistic
pigs.
Yeah. Fuck the system.
I love Berserk.
There we go.
But yes, so that's what happens here in the Lake of Rot. And then there's a coffin sitting at the end of the lake, and you're like, well, I know what to do here.
It's like when SpongeBob sees a boulder and he's like, the pilgrims used to ride these babies for miles.
Oh, yeah, we're saved.
Like, finally, some fucking wheels.
You know, it's funny because SpongeBob's right. Like, the old sponges did literally ride rocks around.
Did they really?
They had, like, things would move and, like, you know, things drift in the ocean, so sponges could ride rocks.
Ah, I didn't even know that. That makes it even better.
There's a weird amount of lore in SpongeBob that adds up. And I've even read theories that it's all based on, like, the 7 deadly sins. Mr. Krabs is greed.
Greed, yeah. Patrick's sloth.
The squirrel is pride.
Yeah. Patrick would be sloth, right?
He would be sloth.
Yeah. And then the big lobster guy would be like vanity. I don't even know the 7 deadly sins.
Hangover is 7. Is number 7. He's the mythical 8th dwarf that never made it in there.
It's because he can't get out of bed.
Dopey's like, he's not coming today. He is in bed and he said, don't wake me up. Tell her there's 7 of us. That's all we have. Hangover's dead. So, Estelle, natural born of the void, a malformed star born in the flightless void, far away, once destroyed an eternal city and took away their sky, a falling star of ill omen. This guy, this Estelle, this woman, this thing, this whatever the fuck they are, this being, they crashed. They, for one, learn how to fly yourself.
Rookie.
Rookie. They crashed down into the nameless eternal city, destroyed it, and took their stars, which I think they must have been fake stars down there. It took the fake stars, which seems like I don't know, man. It's like going to a kid's room and they have like the fake stars in their sky and they're like, fuck you, and you put it in your room. It's like, I don't know. It seems cruel.
It's like breaking into a kid's house and taking his bag of cereal. Like, he doesn't even have Reese's Puffs. He's got the one that comes in the bag. You stole like the off-brand one. You stole the not even real cereal.
You're taking my entire sleeve of Hydrox.
Yeah. You stole all of my Bionicles.
Bionicles are okay.
I loved Bionicles.
I think they're made by, aren't they made by Lego?
Yeah.
So they are Lego.
But they're cooler.
But they're less cool.
I loved Bionicles.
They're less cool. This is the asshole that destroyed the nameless eternal city. Apparently, it did this. It like flicked him off, gave the suck it sign on the way out, took the stars, threw it in a bag, and then it just ran through Noxtella. Woo, 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 woo. And it ran through the Lake of Rot. It's like, woo! And it's like, all right, I'm going to just stay right here from now on. That was seemed like a long time ago. I guess I don't know what you do if you're a natural born of the void.
Yeah.
But it landed somewhere and it chose pretty far away. I don't know why, but
why even try to comprehend what these things do?
They look cool.
Yeah.
This is an epic fight. The creatures are malformed stars. And Estelle is actually also what the species are called, because you also run into Estelle, Curseborn of Darkness or something like that. Yeah, the one we fought in the snowfield. The falling star beasts are also falling stars that develop on the planet, giving them a rocky appearance. But Estelles are born in the void of space. You can tell that they are similar species due to their skulls. So the natural born of the void and the Curseborn of Darkness, whatever his name is, the Estelle. You don't just notice this when you're playing the game because you're running around and dodging and dying so much. But if you just watch a model, like I'm not a PC gamer, but if you watch like a YouTube video or whatever, there's an eye exposed in the skull that looks around and moves independently from everything else. Super creepy looking.
That would be terrifying.
And it looks like the rest of its body is made up of like bubble galaxies, multiverse, little DNA things. On the surface, like, all right, antlion, I get it. You got pincers, you got like a tail, but nope, it's got like a human skull and a fucking gnarly galaxy eyeball in the center looking around.
Like an all-seeing eye in its forehead?
It doesn't see all because I killed that thing. And it would have saw me coming. Kid rotted up and down the street, dude.
Bob with the bada bang, bang.
Yeah, take that, Natural Born of the Void.
Yeah.
I don't know any other Kid Rock songs. I don't know.
Those are the two I got.
I'm a cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
shoot good beer because I'm conservative.
Cowboy, baby.
I'm a cowboy.
Yeah. No, he's got a good album that I used to listen to when I was far too young.
I wish that politics didn't exist because otherwise I still love a lot of things.
Yeah.
But, yes, the Falling Star Beast, you can see that eyeball like starting to poke out and the human skull growing out of the beast, or maybe it's getting enveloped by the rocks. So similar species. And skull with mandibles. I have that on here. But so you defeat this thing. The description for the meteorite of Estelle says, a manifestation of the power with which Estelle leveled the Eternal City. And then you get the remembrance of the natural born. You can either get the Ash of War, Waves of Darkness, where you plunge your armament into the ground to release 3 waves of darkness. Follow up with a strong attack to swing the armament in a sweeping strike. And besides that, you can get the weapon, the Bastard Star, which it's a flail which deals magic damage, a little like one of those bubble universe flails, with the unique skill Nebula, which imbues the stars with magic to perform a sweeping strike, sending stars in its wake that linger briefly when exploding. Very cool. I love Estelle's design. It's cool when you're like just fighting so many things that are kind of more based on like earthly or like animals. You're seeing so many beasts or like bosses that designs that you can kind of relate to a lot of, but to have this like ultra cosmic thing, which is just so much based on outer space, pretty wicked.
Yeah. It's a nice change of pace considering the fact that I've been fighting a bunch of basilisks and a giant dragon man as of recently.
Yeah. You are in the depths of shit right now, and then to run into the battlefield, like it's all stars. And it's really great. I really like this fight.
Yeah. I got my ass kicked in this fight quite a bit. More so than the Dragonkin. And I think that's because I had beaten his buddies beforehand. And even though they don't all play the same, like, you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Seen one, you've seen them all. They do reuse some assets here. The fact that you run into 2 Estelles, the fact that you run into 2...
that's one that they should have
the one you run into 2 Godric the Grafteds. It's that someone grafted all of the arms and legs in the same spots. That's where it's like Godric really looked up to his uncle, or y'all are being
That's just the Stan.
cheeky.
That's just like Eminem to Stan. That's just the same guy who's like, well, now that Godric's gone, I'm going to take up the mantle.
I think a closer thing would be Garth Brooks and Chris Gaines. Godric actually survived that fight. You know, Garth Brooks had an alter ego where he made emo music.
Those are 2 different guys.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Those are 2 separate guys.
Nobody tell Tyler that if you're listening that they're not.
If you looked at them, they don't look anything alike.
I'm just saying Godric just grew a soul patch and survived that fight.
Godric grew a soul patch. Listen to MCR once.
Godric Gaines is what they call him now.
Godric Gaines.
Oh, I'm not Godric the Grafted. I'm someone else.
What's crazy, or real quick, what's crazy is that Garth Brooks does not talk about that.
You can see him like almost talk about it, but he doesn't talk about it.
He avoids it.
If somebody asks you, like, yeah, Chris is doing fine, I think.
It was like, I don't know if he's trolling or if it's just like, you know, it's not a phase, Mom. If like he realized it was a phase.
He's trolling.
I hope he's trolling.
He is now. He wasn't back then.
No, back then he was dead ass serious.
He thought he could get away with it.
Yeah. Well, he was the biggest superstar on the planet.
You're already like rolling thunder and you're down here trying to become emo? You can't move from country emo to real emo.
No, you got to go from country to like, you got to get like Nelly on a track and start doing hip hop for a little bit. You got to work your way up.
Or you go from hip hop to country in the style of Kid Rock.
Yeah.
And all of it sounds not great.
No, it's not. The country overall doesn't have my favorite songs. So when you start adding hip hop to it, I mean, in my opinion, it makes it a little better. At least you're turning into my direction a little bit.
No, not 90s pop country is perfect and never
Well,
change.
some Tim McGraw, some K-Chez, yes.
Faith Hill, Shania Twain.
Oh my God, yeah.
Jody Messina.
The way down yonder on the
Neil
Chattahoochee.
McCoy Black Hawk?
Yeah,
Not Black Cock, Black Hawk.
yeah. Well, you think like after the fact he was like, damn, that sounds similar.
Yeah. All those 4 white dudes. I know what we're going to call ourselves. Pass. So you get through Estelle, and at this point, you find an elevator, and you're like, okay, what the fuck is going on now? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And the elevator goes up, which is a good sign, because so far it's just been down, down, down.
And what's under the Lake of Rot? Don't want to know.
We went down it, though.
I know, but continuing to go down, I don't want to know what's further down.
We went down
here.
the coffin in the Lake of Rot, and it keeps going further, and then it goes down around. It heads south, but at some point it like kind of curls back. And then this elevator takes you up to the Moonlit Altar, which is a place that we have wanted to go for so long we forgot about it.
And what a weird... Is it the only way to get here?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yes, unless you take the airship or fly by dragon.
Yeah, which I don't think they've updated.
Which you can't even do.
Yeah, that doesn't sound real.
I bet you could fly a horse up here with one of the glitches. I don't know. I'm not one of those speedrunners, but you can ride a horse off into the fucking sunset like a Valkyrie.
Seeing what those speedrunners did with Torrent made me realize that I am not utilizing Torrent nearly to the...
Your Torrent's being lazy.
Yeah, he is. He's not pulling his weight.
I've skipped a few things with some jumps with Torrent, but not too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Geometry's fun. But the Moonlit Altar is a large plateau bathed in lunar rays found high above in the southwest of Liurnia. The plateau hosts the ruins of a civilization that held great reverence for the moon. The Moonlit Altar is above the village of the Albinarchs. We saw this in Liurnia of the Lakes. We see it fucking forever.
How much time did you spend on the map? Like, where the fuck
A lot.
is it?
No, a lot. And there's even one point where I'm like, got it, found it.
Nailed it.
And there's like this long piece of rock that goes up. I'm like, I go up it. I got it.
Yeah.
I went up there and I couldn't do it. I was like, wow. At some point, you just kind of give in and believe that the game will take you back there. But it's a horrible feeling because you're also like, I'm missing this and I might not ever see it now.
Yep.
It felt good getting up there.
I would say every few days early on when I was playing the game, especially when I had just got to Liurnia, I would go back and look again, probe for another weakness, trying to get up there. And then I'd be like, fuck it. And then I'd go do some shit for like a week. And then I'd come back and be like, all right, okay, surely I missed something.
Something is very obvious and I'm missing it.
Yep. Little did I know, you have to go underneath.
I hate it so much when the answer is literally in front of you. This time, though, it's not.
Yes.
The Moonlit Altar. We get on top. So the Moonlit Altar is the VIP section of a bar. It is bottle service. It is very expensive to get up there. I was watching Succession, and there's a scene with Greg and Tom, and they're up there just two dudes dancing by themselves. Like, why are we up here?
This is VIP.
Just fuck them or something.
Yeah.
It's like, it seems expensive.
It is.
No one else can get up here unless you're essentially Ronnie at this point. It's back in the day, though. This seems like this altar was purely astrologers. It was purely people worshiping the moon. The sky up on this area is different. There are 2 giant moons in the sky. If you haven't noticed, go back and look. There's just 2 giant moons so close in the sky that it's not off-putting, but it is eye-catching. It is bizarre. And clearly it makes sense why people that worship the stars and the moons would want to be up here.
I think I didn't realize that the rest of the map didn't have that.
They're so close up here. It is very different. They talk a lot about the moons, the dark moon and Renala's full moon, and lots of moons.
Once I got up here, it was such a relief and like a sense of satisfaction that I had finally made it up here that I just like, I took it in for a minute. I had to like take a knee. I had to take the headset off, crack a beer, just like,
That's it. We did it.
I did it. I called my mom.
Hey, Mom, I made it.
And you're happy? Did you change your oil?
Yes, Mom, I got to go though. And then 2 hours later, I'm like, I love you. I got to go.
How's Frank?
Yes, Frank is Tyler's new dog.
Yeah, he's a good old boy.
He's a good old boy. He's a good baby boy.
Yeah, he's a baby boy. He turns 1 next month.
Good old boy has bad connotations these days.
Oh my God, it does. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I call him my beautiful baby boy.
Is Frank into QAnon?
I don't know what he gets up to in his spare time.
I don't know what he's been up to, dude.
His interests include sleeping and chewing on his bone and barking at Devin.
And the deep web.
and the dark web.
The Moonlit Altar, though, is surprisingly sparse. There's not a ton to do up here.
Yeah.
Straight ahead, you'll find the Moonfolk ruins. One of the most boring sets of ruins you'll ever find. There are some of the little little ghosty boys that'll like,
I'm over here.
shoot.
Oh, miss me.
Then
And I'm gone. And I'm over here. You miss me. Guess who's over here now? Whoops, too slow.
That's not Brad doing the voice. That's actual cut audio from the game.
yeah, it's got content.
Whoops, gotcha. This is my friends. Whoops, we're over here.
You sound like the old man from Family Guy.
I got some popsicles in the cellar. I got some immunizing horn charms down in the cellar. Want to go down there?
And it's actually, there's an illusory floor with a somber smithing stone +8. Kind of whack. It's not bad. It's not the best somber smithing stone you can find. I guess they're kind of rarer in the game, but once you get the bell bearings, these +8s and 9s don't mean shit. Still good at probably the first time you get here, though.
It's a free one.
It's a freebie. I'm guessing these are all ancient astrologers who had popsicles in the cellar. The southeastern altar takes you down to the Lunar Estate ruins, which says, the ruins of a large estate found in the southern plateau of Liurnia. So just like the rich chump astrologer had his own place, he couldn't live with the other folks. This place, though, is surrounded with revenants and wraithcallers. It is a very not friendly place. The revenants are the grotesque amalgamations of limbs. They can like pop in and out using some weird magic, and they have like 20 swords. They're a bunch of grafted monsters, and the wraithcallers can summon them. These variants actually ride horses, which I don't want to go to. You do get something here that's okay. You get the Cerulean Amber Medallion +2, raises your max FP by 11%, so that's cool. But, I mean, otherwise, it's like...
Kind of a big letdown.
Yeah. I remember, like, great. I like my talismans I already got. Now, there's a lot of talismans. I don't fuck around with my equipment too much. I find I'll go in there, periodically, and then I'm just like, I'll rock whatever I rock. And I don't change it that often. Some people go in there and they're like, all right, I'm going to this zone and I'll change my equipment for that. That seems like too much work for me.
There is a guy that I've been watching, and he's doing kind of what we're doing, but way more in depth. Like going through like every single fucking thing in the game. And he does the same thing.
What's his name?
I'll put it in the Discord because I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Okay.
Actually, I probably could just pull it up on my phone because it's YouTube. But he will do that same thing. He will... Oh, I have one enemy to kill in the Lake of Rot, so let me equip this shield and sword. I'm going to kill him, and then I'm going to bounce out. Then I'm going to It's just fucking crazy.
It seems like too much. To me, I need constant gratification.
Fighting Cowboy is his YouTube handle.
Not bad for a name. If it was like a Sleeping Cowboy, I guess I'd be into it as well.
Yeah. But I've only seen a few of his videos. Like probably
Crying
5 or 6.
Cowboy would have a different feeling.
That'd be sad.
My horse left me. I got nothing to live for no more.
Crying Cowboy's how I felt after I beat Red Dead 2.
This is the somber smithing stone +8.
It's somber.
I'm somber. I'm Somber Smithing Steve.
Somber Smith and Steve.
+1. Not anymore.
+0. She left me.
+0.
It's why I'm
Somber
crying.
Smithing Steve +0. The saddest character ever made.
I keep getting invited to weddings and I can't bring nobody.
They say +1. I'm like, why?
Why?
Oh.
Poor
If you
Steve.
send an invite to someone who's like very single, do you put like no +1 option on their invite?
No, you let him hope.
You let them hope?
You let them dream.
Then they feel bad.
No, because then they're like, I could find somebody. When's the wedding? 2 months? I could find somebody.
Down south here, you find Chelona's Rise, and this is the pinnacle of the turtle puzzles. If you like looking for ghost turtles, then you're questionable at best. But this is the turtles are all over the Moonlit Altar. I don't like these.
How many are there here? Because there's normally 3.
There's 3, but they're far apart, and I'm not too ashamed to admit that I have somebody help me find these turtles. It was called the internet.
Well, ever since I did the one in, was it the Weeping Peninsula where the motherfucker's hiding in a tree?
Yeah,
I was like, okay, so we're just going to get willy-nilly with the rules. They could be anywhere.
turtles can't climb. Everybody knows that about turtles.
They have no opposable thumbs nor claws.
They don't have sticky hands, nothing.
Nah.
Bullshit.
Do you know how heavy a shell is?
Maybe they took a spirit spring up.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know how to get down.
Just let go. You got a shell.
That's why there's a ghost up there. It's dead.
Yeah.
The most long and ridiculous turtle puzzle was originally broken too, where even if you found them all, it might not work.
Love that.
Love that for the long turtle puzzle. Yeah. Perfect turtle puzzle to fuck up.
For the puzzle I already dislike and the worst one in the game, it might not even be worth my time.
Bring them together.
Let's do it.
Bring them together. Chelona, the word is derived from Greek meaning tortoise.
As Brad aggressively turns the page.
I put down more silly bullshit. I copied. This was somebody's like fucking Wikipedia article or Reddit post. I don't have their name. I'm sorry. When all the gods, men, and aminals. That was a
good one.
been hanging out in a condom walk. When all the gods, men, and animals were invited by the divine messenger Hermes to attend the wedding of Zeus and Hera, the nymph Chelona alone remained at home to shew her disregard of the solemnity. But Hermes then descended from Olympus through Chelona's house, which stood on the brink of a river, together with the nymph into the water, and transformed her into a lazy tortoise, who had thenceforth had to carry her house on her back. I will put your broken shell back together, but from now on, your shell will have a new purpose. This is a separate thing. You will have 13 spaces on the back for your 13 moons in a year, and 28 spaces around your shell for the number of days in a moon. There's, I guess, historical precedent for turtles and moons getting along.
All that made me think of was God of War and the giant turtle with the house on his back,
Which I like.
which was really cool.
Or The Neverending Story and that giant turtle.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that movie?
Or World of...
Neverending Story's really good.
Yeah. That's one with David Bowie, right?
No, that's Labyrinth.
I get those confused all
Neverending
the
Story
time.
is high German fantasy.
Yeah, that's right. I get that in Labyrinth confused so often.
I don't smoke weed anymore. The Neverending Story makes me feel like I used to be when I was stoned. Instantly.
I could see that.
Have you seen The Neverending Story?
Yeah, I've seen them both, but I get them confused.
If you watch it again,
I've seen Labyrinth
watch it
more.
stoned for me because I don't smoke.
I was going to say I haven't smoked in a long time, but...
You know they found the head of Falcor from, I think, The Neverending Story 3 in like a Pawn Stars garage.
Really?
It wasn't Pawn Stars, but it was like someone's like packing garage. They just like there's a giant Falcor head in there.
On that show where they bid on like storage units that been...
Not Pawn Stars, yeah, your Storage Wars or whatever. Yeah. And in this one, we got a Falcor head. Here's
see
my
this
life
as-
savings. Is it enough, please?
Yeah. See this as an absolute win.
At the top of Chelona's Rise, you get Ronnie's Dark Moon, a legendary sorcery. Use of the caster as a vessel to incarnate a cold dark moon. Sends it floating towards foes. It dispels every sorcery it touches and reduces magic damage negation for those it strikes. Also builds frostbite, so it just like absorbs magic, makes people weaker, and makes them frostbite. The moon was encountered by a young Rani, led by the hand of her mother Renala. What she beheld was cold, dark, and veiled in occult mystery. Sounds like some good Woods Witch shit.
Yes.
Now, the northwestern end of the Moonlit Altar, we find the ringleader's Everjail. Inside awaits the most notorious assassin. Imprisoned for the act of slaying a demigod, we find Alecto, the Black Knife ringleader. She was the leader of the Black Knife's plot. The one
I should have known with the name ringleader that she was a heavy hitter.
Oh, it's either that or like a Hugh Jackman type character in a circus movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the one with Zac Efron.
The Greatest Show.
Yeah. So she's the one that actually, like, she was Brutus, like it with Caesar, like the kill and blow sort of thing.
She was the leader of the group. She was not the coordinator of the group.
But she did some stabbing.
She was there with the stabbing.
Okay.
And as every mother in the world has done, she brought her daughter to the stabbing.
I mean,
If I'm going to do a stabbing, I leave my kids at home. Generally.
do you know how much a babysitter is nowadays, though?
That was it. The babysitter canceled. It's tonight.
We cannot reschedule this. We're killing a demigod.
Tish, you're with me.
Yeah, get in here.
Just stay close. No, we're gonna go kill a god, dude. It'll be fine. She is imprisoned here. On the night of the Black Knives, Alecto and the Black Knife assassins assassinated Godwin the Golden using daggers, imbued with a fragment of destined death stolen from its caretaker Malekith. During their escape from Lanedell, Alecto's daughter and one of the Black Knife assassins, Tish, perished protecting her. This boss fight fucked me up. Have you beaten this ever, Joe?
I think so. It's been a long time since I've been up here. I'd have to go back and look and see if I actually killed her.
Even after Millennia, I had as much trouble with Tish almost. Or with Alecto.
I want to say that I beat him.
Beat her.
Yeah.
But even after I struggled like a while, and then I beat her, I perished from a status effect after I beat her.
And then it, like, null and void.
Which I'm like, fine. No, it still counts, but I just had to go recollect my runes. The only time I've ever spawned outside of the map, like way off the map, like glitch spawned, and I died.
And then you lost them all.
I lost them all.
Oh my God, that sucks.
It was really funny. Alecto beat me twice.
That doesn't sound funny at all.
Yeah, but you get the Spirit Ashes of the Black Knife Tish. You get the Daughter's Spirit Ashes. One of the best Spirit Ashes you can get in the game. It's nice to have a Black Knife Assassin on your squad. We'll mention the Black Knife Assassins again here in a second, but you head up to the Cathedral, and you fight Glintstone Dragon Ajula again. This is the dragon that ate too many sorcerers, got beat by Rani, and he's like, I yield, I'm yours, now I will be your knight. You defeat him this time, you get the sorcery Adula's Moonblade, conjures a cold magic greatsword, delivers a sweeping blow that launches a blade-like projectile of frost, and yeah, it's just like a big old badass sorcery Moonblade. The Cathedral of Manicelis. It's a large church atop the southern plateau of Liurnia. Rani awaits her lord in the depths of the church, guarded by her loyal dragon. Now, Manicelis is Latin, which means hidden hand.
She's got 4 of them.
Yeah, but there's another hand hidden down here,
It's like
which
Chuck
is
Norris,
the 2-finger hand.
the one underneath his beard.
2 fingers. There's starlight shards all over the floor here, which is cool. These are cool currency if you want to go buy a bunch of sex dolls. The cave, though, in the floor of the cathedral leads down to a corpse of the 2 fingers. Now, the first time I saw this, I originally thought the 2 fingers were massive, but it's only because it was like a little doll sitting on there when you come up. But Rani is sitting atop it, and the fingers are dead. They're slain to shit because we gave her the Finger Slayer blade, and these fingers are now dead. At this point, I looked up some stuff on the 2 fingers that I wanted to mention. So, the 2 fingers here are the ones that should have been on her tower that we were at earlier where her body was. Somebody move these fingers up here. It sounds like an awkward thing to carry.
I've repotted one plant in my life, and if it's any indication how hard it is, I'm not down with it.
These are some hairy wigglers.
Yeah.
And we have a wagon.
Yeah, but everything
These things are too big for a wagon.
Yeah, and everything is trying to kill you in the meantime between point A and point B.
Ronnie did yeet her great rune out somewhere because she had a great rune that's just gone. She probably sent it out to a moon. I don't know if she sent the fingers up there, then the fingers came crashing back down into the cathedral because they're down in a hole.
Yeah, maybe she did yeet them too, and then they could be.
We don't know. But these are the two fingers that should have been there. The two fingers are a manifestation of the greater will and the outer gods. They act as a destiny to the demigods. So the reason that she had to kill hers specifically was her destiny was immutable as long as those two fingers had like sway over her. She had to kill these two fingers
For free will?
for her to do what she wants to do, for her to change her own destiny.
Okay.
And there are 8 sets of 2 fingers in the game. I was like, oh, interesting. Only one living set, though, in the round table hold. Every demigod has their own except Morgott and Moog, who have to share their 2. They each have one finger that they share. But yeah, she slays the 2 fingers to change her own destiny. You go up to this doll, and you slide that ringer on its finger. It turns into like a full-size Ronnie. You put the ring on the finger, and then she says, "So it was thee who would become my lord. Perhaps I needn't have warned thee. I am pleased, however, thou art a fitting choice." She didn't know it would be you. She's surprised at how good you are. And she's like, you'll do. I don't know about that goatee, but
Yeah.
we can work. We can wear that.
The mushroom crown might have to come off.
Are you wearing a Godskin Apostle fat boy suit?
That's not a good look for you.
Are those dung eater leg pieces? I did the best stats. I don't know. I just came through the Lake of Rot, and it was really bad down there. You cannot criticize my outfit right now.
I'm going to need a shower and some R&R.
I am not the fighting cowboy. I cannot change my armor every time that I change a room.
Yeah.
I am Mushroom Boy today. But I go now to the night sky. It is there. I shall find mine order. I bid thee travel the path of the Lord, and once all is done, we shall see each other once more. So she's going now. Her spirit is...
Whoa, I got 2 non-refundable tickets to Sandals Jamaica Resort, and I was really hoping that you would come with me.
What? I just put the ring on your finger. You're going to go?
That's not how engagement works.
You stay?
We at least watch a movie?
I just came a long ways, dude. That was a lot of lake. My jet ski was broken. It was no fun. Not a good time. But she's like, I'm getting out of here. Please just travel the path of the Lord. I bid thee. I don't demand. Like, you should. Once all is done, though, I promise I'll text you. She gives you the Dark Moon Greatsword, which is a moon greatsword bestowed by a Carian queen upon her spouse to honor long-standing tradition, one of the legendary armaments. Her sigil, Ronnie's sigil, is a full moon, cold and leaden, and this sword is but a beam of its light. It has a unique skill, which is just like big old dark moon power that causes frost and increases magic attack power. It's part of the Moonlight Sword archetype from weapons appearing in other From Software games. We're not qualified to talk about this.
No, I'm not.
You're not. There must have been one in Bloodborne, but I don't know. I mean, I just use the same weapons almost the whole time. I got like the sword that could turn into like a bigger armor, like the one hammer sword.
Yeah.
Once I got that, I was fine. But yes, it debuted in the Kingsfield series, has been in Armored Core, Demon Souls, in the Dark Souls trilogy, and Bloodborne as the Holy Moonlight Sword. So it wasn't there as well. But so that's the Moonlit Altar. But we do have a little bit more to talk about because you go back to Ronnie's Rise, because naturally...
I did not.
Okay. You go back to Ronnie's Rise. Well, first we'll stop by Celebus's tower. He's still very dead.
Good.
But if you haven't gotten the Black Wolf mask, it is up there now. Or I might have been up there before, but go grab it. It's a relic of an assassin who assumed the guise of Ronnie the Witch's loyal shadow. Go get the Blythe head. But outside of Ronnie's house is Blythe.
Hey, how's he doing?
surrounded by dead Black Knife assassins that are leaking Deathblight.
What a killer.
And he's a Terminator. Like, this dude's a beast. And he's talking to himself.
That's not good.
He says, "No, I'm part of her very being. I could never betray her, no matter what might happen. Ronnie, she needs me." As we talked about in the last episode, he was a gift to her by the Two Fingers. And if she ever betrayed the Two Fingers, he would go crazy.
Oh, yeah. And that's exactly what she did.
He is straight up Hawkeye in fucking Avengers. I don't even know.
Is it?
No, it's more
the
like
first one.
No, it's more like Captain America's Winter Soldier or something. Like, I don't know. There's a catchphrase. Blythe went bad.
Yeah.
And Blythe can't go. He's fighting it as hard as he can because he loves Ronnie. He's trying to be a good boy, but it's not good. And he fights you, and you kill him.
You got to old yeller him.
He's a good dog. You get the weapon, the Royal Greatsword, decorated in Royal Karian style. In defense of the fate he was born into, he swore to serve no master but Ronnie. As proof, the sword is imbued with the cold magic the moment the oath was sworn. You also get Blythe's armor set. He was the blade of Ronnie, even though cold bothered him. He pretended he didn't mind being cold.
The cold never bothered me anyway.
What a good boy.
Yeah.
Loyal ally who would defy destiny itself if it would have him turn upon his lady. He tried his best. Now you have a tough decision, which I didn't know the first time I played. You can go to EG. The last member of the party, he's still out there just like reading a cookbook, learning how to make dope-ass recipes with Deathblight and whatever he's doing. He's doing blacksmith stuff. He doesn't move.
You can go break the news.
You can. There's one that says about Blythe's death or something. And first of all, he says, "Oh, there you are. Good of you to drop by. Have you heard? Lady Ronnie's gone. It would not have been possible without you," he says, "as the war counselor, her childhood warden. Thank you so much. You're her true champion. This is great. We should celebrate. My purpose is nearing its end. I've done as much as I could. I pray that you serve her well to the end. I pray that you serve her well until the very end. Lady Ronnie is in your hands now."
Now go get Blythe and let's party. Let's celebrate. How about it?
If you forgot, he was the one who locked Blythe up in the Forlorn Hounds Ever jail.
But now that it's all said and done, bygones can be bygones.
He gets out either way. And you can say that you put Blythe down, and he feels horrible for locking him up in the jail.
Really?
He's like, "I really shouldn't have done that. He was a friend of mine the whole way through. I was a bad boy. I was a bad guy." And he feels horrible. You reload the area, and he's dead.
He kills himself?
Kind of. So you find he has a mirror helm which blocks the interference of the Two Fingers. It's like seated next to him, and there are Black Knife assassin bodies that are scattered around everywhere. Death by cop.
So he just
He wanted to die because he felt bad, and he took off his mirror helm, so they found him.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Yeah. And so I've recently defeated Blythe in my playthrough I'm doing now. And I had thought that I had already fucked up EG, and I went there and he was still sitting there today. And I saw about Blythe's death. And I'm like, nope. I'm never saying that.
If you don't tell him, then he doesn't.
Then he'll be there forever. If you don't tell him about Blythe's death, which really drives the point home that he took the helmet off and let the Black Knives find him because he felt bad. Because if you never tell him about Blythe dying, he'll never die.
Well, yeah, because then there's the hope that like eventually he could apologize, or they could be. I picture they could be very good friends at some point.
But the Black Knife assassins can't find him if he doesn't take the helmet off. So I believe he takes his tinfoil hat off.
That's fucking.
But
that is so gnarly.
Yeah. The only way to get though that EG's mirror helm is to let him kill himself by cop. EG in the description, warned by those committed to high treason, EG was afraid, period.
That's like cryptic, sad, and scary.
It's palpable.
Yeah.
It's pungent. There is also a content item, EG's confession, where you find a letter where like talking about his regret about Blythe. Minnie Ronnie is also up at her chamber. You find the doll, or you talk to the doll up at her mini chamber site of grace, and the doll will talk again. And she's like, "Oh, okay. You're still talking to me. I was trying to be cool and like not here, but I get it. Like, you're really into this doll."
Yeah.
I'll mention a few more things. She kind of describes what her ending is going to be. Mine will be in order not of gold, but the stars and the moon of the chill night. I would keep them far from the earth beneath our feet. As it is now, life and death and souls and order are bound tightly together, but I would have them at great remove and have the certainties of sight, emotion, faith, and touch all become impossibilities, which is why I would abandon the soil in mine order. Wouldst thou come to me, even now, my one and only Lord? It's open to interpretation. We'll talk about more on the endings episode, which is like somewhere down the line here. But that is our Ronnie conclusion. That is the Moonlit Altar and the Lake of Rot. What a fun episode.
Damn. I guess I can go fight Blythe now.
You haven't fought Blythe yet?
No, because I never went back to the Rise.
He's at the front door.
Never went back.
And yes, then if you want, you can let EG know.
His helmet is really cool.
Well, you can also get a mirror helm, which is like the same design, but
Yeah.
I kind of want it. But yes. So, the next Elden Dogs, we will be finally burning that fucking nerd tree down. I said nerd tree. It's for you nerds. And we are going to Farm Azula. I'm excited to button up one of the last pieces of lore that I haven't looked into because the dragons are a mess in themselves. They're ancient. They also have their own Elden Lords, which is before the first Elden Lord. It's out of time. It's fucking weird. They turn into people. They fuck humans, maybe. The dragons are weird.
Zeus turned into goats and shit and fucked people, so I have a pretty high tolerance for animal bullshit.
Zeus got away with a lot that he wouldn't today.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd be canceled real quick.
Guess what? I'm a swan. It's like, fuck you,
Fuck
Zeus.
you, dude. I'm really excited.
I fucked her as a swan. It's like, Zeus, calm down, bro.
Sir, this isn't Arby's. We don't need your stories.
Oh, yes. Arby's sauce, please. Thank
We
you.
know you have the meat.
Do you have the horsey sauce?
I'm excited for the Farm Azula episode because I just got here.
I have
So-
gone up and down on that place. I've loved it and I've hated it. And I think I'm on the loving it side right now.
I have no opinion so far.
Well, you haven't fought the first set of bosses.
Nope.
There's one boss before the set of bosses. And then there's it's actually like a really fun legacy dungeon. I don't know if I'm into like giants tornado dragon dens, but I think I'm into them right now.
Is it the boss that the guy at GDQ beat blindfolded?
One of them is there. That's not the one I'm referring to, though.
Okay. Because that was pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah.
I can't beat it on my best. I can't beat a lot of bosses on my first try, on my best day with both my eyes.
I'm excited for you to fight the boss that you're about to run into. But so, yes, that's the next Elden Dogs. And big thanks to our newest Patreon members. I think I might have thanked some of you before, but in case I'm missing anyone, Trey, Bryant Ross, James D, Philip, and Coleman. Big thanks, and thanks to our executive producers, Rykard, Christy, Nick, Malakip, the Black Blade, Blackguard, Big Brian, Jordan Hoslow, Sorceress of Blood, and Festering Fingerprint Phil. If you want access to Elden Dogs way in advance, this episode has been available to our Patreon supporters now for over a month and a half, 2 months maybe, for a while. If you want access to it, just check out our patreon.com, patreon.com/hairthedogcast. For as low as $3, you get access to these episodes and lots of other bonus episodes like our God of War Ragnarok episode, our Persona 5 Part 2.
And our Discord.
And our Discord, which is a great fucking community.
You can come on and tell us your favorite Kid Rock songs, your favorite Kid Rock lore, and I will indulge it.
Now, I would do the lore of Kid Rock, but I don't know if there's a lot there.
No. Well,
It's all like Rich Boy Michigan and then pencil top hip hop.
and fur coats.
I think we just did the whole episode. Yes. Thank you for supporting us. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky now. I got us a Blue Sky.
How is Threads? You fuck around on there much yet?
Nope. I just do my perfunctory. We are a podcast that exists posts.
I've downloaded it. I haven't made an account.
Did you know that Weird Al was at Lake Geneva recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom said that.
Yeah, Tom said that the other day.
Thanks for checking out Elden Dogs. I'm excited to get to the end of the game. We're getting there.
Yeah. It's been a long time, too. When did we start this after the game came out?
87 years ago.
Yeah, feels like it.
We're recording this before the DLC, which I'm guessing will still hold true when it finally releases. But the roadmap, if you're still here, if you're listening, hey, you couldn't even get enough of us, or you're driving, you didn't want to fuck with your phone. Either way, I'm still here. Farm Azula. We'll do Lanedell, because Lanedell will be enough before the ending, but the 6 endings will get their own episode. And then I also want to do an end game guide where we talk about all of the end game content that is worth fucking around with. We're going to do an episode on multiplayer. I think we're going to do an episode on speedrunning, and maybe an episode on just like the various magics, possibly, before the DLC, which the DLC will probably get, I'm guessing, 3 to 5 episodes. I don't know what it is.
Who knows how big it's going to be?
It could, I think it'll be bigger than people think.
I'm leaning that way too, which means we might be doing this for the rest of our lives.
With the Bloodborne DLC, we could have at least done 3 episodes, I'd say. Yeah, you should play Bloodborne. But thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Beautiful.